Hello everyone and welcome back. Today I'm going to show you how to deploy a more advanced MERN app like this one, Booking or Airbnb clone, to Vercel and AWS, because many of you have been asking for it, and this will work the same way for even our blog app. So you can use it on both this Airbnb clone and on our blog app. I will put in the description links to those two apps in case you want to build them first. And now let's start by going to API and index.js, because there are some small things that we need to fix first before we can deploy it. So first is that we were uploading our files to API uploads. So as you can see here, we have like a lot of photos, and the problem is that we cannot have them here. We cannot upload to uploads. We cannot upload to our project because Vercel is not allowing this. You cannot touch or change or add files to your project directory when it's deployed on Vercel. So that's why first thing we are going to do is that we are going to change the upload to upload files somewhere else. And I think the easiest way would be to upload files to S3 bucket on AWS. So this is what we are going to do now. So first let's scroll down to our upload endpoint and let's see. So here we are uploading to our uploads directory. So we actually cannot use this anymore, and I will make this a little wider here, and we cannot use this middleware, so I'll put it like this. And now instead we need to do, and here we have the endpoint, and here we have the information about files. So now we need to just put this file on S3. So I'm already logged in here on my AWS account, and I'm going just to create a new S3 bucket. Let's create a new bucket, and let's call this one maybe David Booking App, like this. It doesn't matter where it's located. Now let's scroll down here. I would like to make this bucket publicly available, so I will uncheck this and I'll click I acknowledge, so all the photos uploaded will be publicly available. And let's scroll down, let's see, and I think that's it. So let's create this bucket, and let's see, we have David Booking App, and this is what we are going to use. Now we need to create credentials for this bucket, so we need to create a user. So I will go to my credentials here, security credentials, and let's go to users and add user, and let's add the same as the bucket name, David Booking App. Let's do next, and here we are going to we can attach it to a group. We can add a policy, and I think I would just create a policy. So this new user will have access only to this one specific bucket. So service, let's find S3, yes, and let's do all actions. When it comes to resources, I will access here, I will select here any resource, maybe except the bucket name. Here I will change this one. Let's add bucket name to David Booking App. So this user will be able to do any actions on this specific bucket. David Booking App, right? And let's go next. And I think that's all we need. Now username, policy name. So let's do a policy Booking App, or maybe policy David Booking App. So we have S3 full access, and resource multiple, it will be just one there, only our 1 hour bucket. Let's do create this policy, and the policy is created. So now let's see, let's refresh here so we can attach our policy. Let's search for David, and we have policy David Booking App. let's attach this one. Let's go next with our user. And yeah, now we can create our user. Our user is created. Here is our user, David Booking App. Let's open it. And as you can see, we have this one policy here. Let's go to security credentials. And here we have access keys. And we need to actually generate access key. And let's see, what do we need here? Third-party service. We can maybe do application running outside AWS. We plan to use this access key to enable an application running on on-premises host or to use local AWS or client or third-party AWS plugin. Yeah, let's go with this one. Next, just create access key. And now we have access key and secret access key. And we need to save both. So I will put them for now inside API. We have .env file. And inside this env file, let's do s3 access key equals, and let's copy this part. And now same thing, but s3 secret access key, and let's copy this part and let's place it here. Right, so we have here Mongo URL, s3 access key, and s3 secret access key. Right, so now we should be able to upload our files to S3. So let's go back to index.js inside API, and we need to fix upload to S3 instead of uploading to uploads. So I think maybe we can create a function somewhere here, maybe somewhere here at the top. So maybe here, let's call this function, it will be an async function. So let's do async function. And let's call this one upload to S3, right? And now we need to have first the path name to temporary location of our file that we need to upload. So let's do path. And we want to have original file name, because from the original file name we will get the extension. So for example, .jpeg or .png or something like this. And we also need the MIME type, because when we upload to S3, they want to know if it's type of image or type of something else, and it's inside MIME type. So all right, now let's upload our file that we have here inside path. So first we need to have some kind of client to our S3 bucket. And for this, I will open here terminal, and I will install yarn add. And now I will install AWS SDK. Don't forget about this @ sign. And let's do client/client S3. Right, now let's install it. All right, it's installed, and now we can use it. So let's go here to the top, and we can remove this monitor because it's not, we are not going to upload files to local directory anymore. And let's put here maybe our S3 client. So let's do const, let's do S3 client equals require, and not just S3 client, we need to do AWS SDK client S3, but we are not going to require it like this, but instead there are many things here inside. That's why I'm going to use curly brackets here. And the first thing we are going to need is S3 client. As you can see, we get it here, and now we can use our S3 client down here inside our function. All right, so first we are going to define our client. So let's do const client equals, and let's do new S3 client. And here we need to pass some kind of information. The first is region for our S3 bucket. So let's do region. And my bucket was, I think, US East 1, default one. Yes. And the next thing is only credentials to our user. So let's do credentials, and this is an object as well. And here two things that we are going to need: access key it will be a string, and the secret access key also a string. And as you remember, we have it inside .env, so we can do just process.env.s3 access key, and here process.env s3 secret access key, right? And we have our client that we can use now to upload files to S3. So let's do this. So as you remember, first I wanted to have a path to a temporary location of our file so I can get the extension. So for example, .jpeg or something like this. So let's maybe first console log everything to see how everything looks like. Let's console log path, original file name, and MIME type. And let's pass this information to our upload to S3 from our endpoint. So our upload will not work, but at least we will see what's happening, right? Right, so here for each file we are uploading, I'm going to remove all of this, maybe except the first line where we are grabbing information from files. And here, as you can see, we have a path and original file name, and this is what we are going to need. So here, let's just use our function upload to S3. This is an async function, so I need to do a wait here, and I need to add async here as well. And now, as you remember, for our function, we need to have path. So let's do path, and then we need the original file name. I guess it will be just original name. And the third thing we wanted is MIME type, and we can also grab it from here, MIME type, right? MIME type, and let's just run it like this. And of course, this will not work, but let's see how this will, what information we will have. So here in the console, we can see what information this function will console log. So as you remember, we should get path, original file name, and MIME type. So let's see, I will upload a photo. I have a frog here. Let's try. So it looks like nothing worked. Let's go to network. I will refresh, and let's try again. Upload this frog, and let's see, we have some kind of error. We get error because this middleware we were using, we actually need it, because without this Malter middleware, these request files will be empty. So as you remember, we removed this middleware. I will put it back here, but as you remember, we cannot upload to uploads because Vercel will not allow this to upload the files or to change files inside our project directory. But there's one directory we can use. It's /tnp, and it's temporary directory we can use. All files will be deleted from it later, but we can use just to put one file and then to move it to S3, and that's it. So let's put our photos middleware back here. All right, and as you can see, we removed this Malter, so let's put it back as well. So here we remove it, so let's require it back. So let's do const Malter equals require Malter, like this. Now let's try to, I will refresh, and let's try to go to my recommendations. Looks like our app has failed. Let's see down here about our middleware. There's something wrong with our middleware, and I think it's because we forgot about this part. So let's add it back like this, and now it should work. Yes, it does. So now I will try to upload our frog again, and well, it kind of worked, but we have an empty preview. So let's see, we have a console log from our upload to S3 function. I will scroll back to this function and see path, original file name, and MIME type. As you can see, we have path to our temporary file, we have original file name, and we have MIME type that we need. So this is the path that we are going to need to find our file that will be somewhere inside Vercel directories in temporary directory. Original file name, we are going to need this part, and the MIME type because S3 wants it. Right, so first I want to grab this part, our extension. So let's do const types here, or maybe not types, sorry, parts, and it will be just parts of this file name splitted by dot. So let's do original file name and let's do split by dot. And now I know that the last part inside this array will be JPEG. So the const extension equals parts length -1. And here inside the extension, I will now get just JPEG. So I can refresh here and try again with our frog, and I get JPEG in extension. So I don't need to console log original file name anymore, because we are going to create our own file name to make it unique. So let's put it here. Let's do const new file name, and well, I will use date now, so it will be a number of seconds from 1970, I guess. So it's a timestamp, and let's do plus. Let's add a dot, and let's add our extension. Yeah, and now let's show our new file name to see how it looks like. Now I'll upload again here our frog, and our new file name will be this.jpg, right? So now I guess we can just upload it. So let's see. Here we have our client that we are not using yet, but let's use it. Let's do client and send. And this is an async function, so I need to add wait here. And here inside send, we just need to do new and put object command. And this is a class that we are going to import, and it takes an object of params. And this has been imported for me here. So if it doesn't do it for you automatically, you need to add it manually. So we are importing S3 client and put object command. All right, so now we need to pass information here. And first we need the bucket name. So let's do just bucket. And maybe we can define it as a constant on somewhere here for our app. Let's do const bucket, maybe with small letters, bucket equals, and I think it was David booking app, yes. And now we can use our constant here. So let's do bucket, and then we need to have, we know where we want to put it. Now we want to have the body of our file. So the body equals, and now we need to read this file. So let's do fs, and we need to read file sync, and we want to read the file that we have inside this path. So let's put path, right? And we know what bucket, we know what file, but now the name of the file will be our new file name. So it's a key to our file will be new file name, and then the MIME type that they want. So let's do content type MIME type. And the last part is actually ACL, because we want to make this file publicly available. So let's do public read, and I think that's it. And this will return some kind of data. So let's do const data equals this, and let's just print our data here, and let's see if it works. So now I'll refresh, and let's see. Let's do upload our frog, and let's see, it's pending, so something didn't work. Let's see here, we have MIME type. Okay, it's wrong here, it should be MIME type, like this. Let's try again to upload something. Upload our frog, and looks like it didn't work. So we get some kind of exception that is uncached here. So let's try to catch it. So I'll put it here like this, and let's catch it. Exception. Let's do throw exception. Yeah, and now let's try to upload it again. All right, so it looks like something is wrong with our credential object here in the console. We can see. So let's see, and the error is not actually here, so we don't need to try catch here anything. So I can put this back. Instead, we have something wrong with our credentials. So let's see here. If I try to do access key, it says access key ID, and as you can see, we had access key instead. So we just need to add a missing ID here. And now let's see if this will work. I will try to upload a frog here, and let's see. And the error is this bucket does not allow ACLs. We need to change it. So let's go to our S3. Let's search for David Booking app. It will probably be here in permissions. So let's do here ownership. Let's do ACLs enabled. Yes, save changes. I need to acknowledge here. Yeah, so now let's try to upload again. We'll upload this frog here, and let's see if we have an error. And we get some kind of date, as you can see, that we can use now. But here inside data, we don't have actually nothing that we need. And instead, we can just return a file name to this file path, file URL to this file we just uploaded. So let's do, after we uploaded, we don't need this data. Instead, we just want to return a link to that uploaded file. So a link to will start with HTTPS, and here the URL to a specific bucket file will be just first bucket name. So let's do just use our constant bucket .s3 amazonaws.com / and new file name. So new file name. So file name we used to put our file. Right, let's save this, and let's go where this function is used. Here we are uploading, where when we are doing /upload post. So this is how our endpoint we are using when we are sending files. And let's see, we are uploading, and this function should now return a URL to the file. So let's just add it to uploaded files. So let's do uploaded files, that push, and let's put it like this. Maybe we can make it a little more readable. So let's do const URL equals this, and then just uploaded files, push, and just URL here. Right, now let's try again. Let's see, upload this. Upload looks like it's complete. I'll make it a little bigger. Let's see preview, and we get one URL here. I'll try to open it now, and we have our frog linked to our backend and our file inside this bucket. Right, so now let's see. This now works. Let's see if this displays properly. Now, as you can see, here is something wrong. And if I inspect, you can see that it tries to do localhost 4000 uploads and then our link. So this is wrong. So we need to fix it now. So let's go to our client directory, our React app source. And then this part is called Photos Uploader. And let's see, here we are listing somewhere our images. Here it is. And as you can see, we are taking the link and we are adding this on the beginning. Instead, we should just print a link. So let's change it. But I think it would be probably better to have like an image component that will just take care of it. So I will create a new component here. It will be a component called image.jsx. And here it will be just function image. Yeah. And export default as always on the beginning. And here for the props, I want to have path, and I want to have the rest of the properties. And here I will just return an image. So let's do image like this. I want to put all the properties, all of the rest of the properties. And when it comes to source, I want to check our path first that we are going to put. So let's do const source equals, and let's check path. Let's check if path includes HTTPS, then we know it's a full link. So let's just return our path. Otherwise, let's just add the HTTP localhost 4000 / and then plus path, right? I put it into separate lines so it will be easier to read. And let's now use our source constant here. Right, so if this path contains HTTPS, so for example, this one does, it will just use this full link as the source. Otherwise, we are going to add localhost 4000. Right, now we can use our image component. So instead of this img, we are going to use image like this. And let's see if I refresh. Cannot read properties of undefined, reading includes. So looks like our path can be also empty. So here we are going to check if we have path and the path includes this, right? And now let's see, photos uploader. We are passing this as source, not as a path. So maybe it will be just easier to rename our path to source, but then we cannot redefine this source as constant. So let's just put it like this. We are checking if we have source and if source from our params includes HTTPS. If it does, we just return source. Otherwise, we are adding localhost 4000 on the beginning and then the rest of the source. And we need here alt, and let's just put empty string, right? So now refresh. Let's see. Here something is wrong. Let's see. Here looks like we have HTTP localhost 4000 2 times, and that's why, because we are adding it here, but it's not needed, so I can just remove it. And now let's refresh. Let's inspect here. So this should actually work, but the one thing we forgot is it shouldn't be only localhost 4000, but also /uploads. So let's add it here, uploads. Now everything works, and I will try to upload the frog. And as you can see, we get the frog, right? I will save it. And as you can see, I can go back and here we have a frog. But I will also go back and I will make frog as the main picture of this accommodation to see if it works on the homepage. And it doesn't work here and it doesn't work on the homepage. So let's go to index page as well. And as you can see here, we have also some images that we are using for photos. So let's just change it to image. Yes. And we need to remove this localhost 4000. So now it works here. Now let's fix it here. So let's see what's the name of this page. I think it's places page. Here we have place EMG. Let's see. Let's change this to image. And let's remove this localhost 4000 uploads. Yeah, so now it works here. And let's see if we open this. Here we are also missing the image. So let's see. We have place page. And here we have some images as well. We have place gallery. Let's see. Here we have place photos. I just change this to image. And we can just remove this part. Yeah, if I refresh. Still nothing. Let's see if we have something more. Yeah, here we have an image. So, and here. So let's change it as well to image, and here to image as well. And as always, we need to remove this HTTP localhost 4000 uploads, and here as well, and here as well. All right, now we have, here we also need our image component, and now we have our images and they work from S3. Right, the next thing we need to prepare for our app to be deployed to Vercel is that our database connection should be connecting in every endpoint. So let me show you. On the top, we are importing everything. And here on the top, on line 30, we are connecting to the database. And then when someone asks for example, a test, we are just saying test OK, but we are already connected to the database. And the thing we need to change is we need to remove it from here and we need to actually connect in every separate endpoint. So it will be run inside every endpoint instead of when we start our app. So let's put it here and here, register on login for profile. For logout, we don't need this because we don't use database, but upload by link, probably 2. And let's see, places, yeah, just to all possible endpoints. Here we are using also database, so we need to connect here as well. Here, places, bookings, and here bookings as well. All right, so I will save it. Let's see, we don't have any connection here on the top. Let's see if it still works. Yes, it works. Now we had also another upload that we need to fix, and this is upload by link. So let's fix it. As you can see, the only thing we need to change is actually to not put it to this uploads destination, but instead we need to upload it to S3. So first, let's maybe put it to just the same way we did with regular uploads, to just temporary directory. So just slash tmp slash, and well, it can be new name, but then let's do await and upload to S3, and the path will be this. Then original file name, we can just take it from new name. Let's put it like this to make it simpler. And the third is MIME type. And well, to grab MIME type from a file that is located on our server, we actually need to install another dependency. But it's simple, so let me show you. We just do yarn add and MIME types. Yes, and let's import it somewhere here. Const, let's call it MIME, require MIME types. Yeah, and now we just going to use it on our upload by link. Here where we need MIME type, we will just use MIME, and let's do lookup and for file that is here. So let's put it, yes, and well, now the result of this will be URL. So let's put it like this, and let's return it here in JSON. And now let's see if this will work. I will try to upload something here by link. I will open Unsplash, and let's take this one, copy image address. Let's see here. I will open here inspect to see if this works inside network. Let's add a photo. Uploads by link, it's pending. Let's see, looks like it worked. And we have this photo here. So I think it worked. Let's save it. Let's see. I will use it as default. Let's save. Let's go here. Yeah, looks like now everything works. Right, so we have both uploads, upload by link and upload regular upload, and we have all our Mongoose connections here. Maybe we don't need it here because we are not using database in this endpoint, but for all endpoints where we are using database, for example here where we are posting to places, we are creating a new place, so we need to have database connection in every endpoint that we are using database. So even for a simple like this one, where we are grabbing all places for our index page, we need to connect to our database first. And we are not connecting to our database here on the beginning of our app. So this is important. That on Vercel, every endpoint will be a separate function run on AWS Lambda, and that's why we need connection inside every endpoint function. Right, so now we have it. Now another thing is that on inside our Mongo database, we need to allow access from other IPs. So I will log into my Atlas, and inside our booking app, I will go to network access, and I'm allowing only my IP. But the server on Vercel, we use a different IP, so I need to allow access from anywhere. Let's confirm it. And now let's maybe try to create a Vercel project. So we want to put it on a Vercel as a new project, but before we will do this, we need to specify for Vercel what should be done with our project. So I'll create here in our main directory, I'll create a new file called Vercel.json. Inside we will have configuration for our Vercel app. And it's just a simple JSON. And here we need to define, for example, how the app should be built. So let's do build command. And let's see, the file is here alongside our API and the client. And to build our command, to build our app, we need to go inside the client and then we want to build it. So let's do cd client here and 2 ampersands. And then what do we want to do? We need to install all node modules. So let's do yarn install. And then let's do just vite build. Yeah. And now maybe we can try to run this. Let's see. Not inside API. We want to run it outside here where we have our Vercel.json. Let's try to run all of this. And we get a command error, command not found, vite. So we can do this another way. Instead of doing vite build, we can use vite that is inside our node modules. So it will be actually inside node modules slash vite slash, I'll make this a little bigger, bin slash vite.js, and we are going to run build. Now let's test it again, but I will just copy and paste it here. I will go back to our app. I will paste this. Let's see, looks like it's working. So it's building our app and creating this directory. So that's good. I will remove it for now, delete. So our building command will work, but there are a few more things we need. The next thing is our output directory. And this will be actually inside the client, just this, the one that we just deleted. All right. Another thing is it's good to define framework to just vite because we are using vite. And the last part is actually rewrites. And this is an array. And this is just saying that we want to rewrite some URLs to something else. So we can rewrite from about to about as or something like this. But the thing we want to rewrite is actually that from source API slash anything. So let's do anything to destination, and the destination is actually inside our API. It will be just index.js inside the API index.js, right? So go back. So here slash API slash index.js, right? And this means when we get our app running on Vercel, if there's a request for it to slash API slash something, it should go to API index.js, to our API index.js, right? Yes, so now let's try to push it to our GitHub. So let's see, I will go back here. Let's see git status. We have those files. We need to commit them. Let's do git add. Let's add all of those. Commit with message saying Vercel. Yeah, let's push it. Git push origin master. Yes, and now it will be pushed. So now let's create a project on Vercel. Add new project, Airbnb clone. Yes, and let's see. That's all right. Deploy environment variables. We need to add a few of those because, as remember, we have some environment variables here, for example. So we need Mongo URL. Let's put it here, and this needs to go here. Let's add also S3 access key, and S3 access key will be this. Let's add, and S3 secret access key needs to be added as well. So let's put it here. Let's add, and now let's try to deploy it. So let's hit deploy. So here inside building, we can see that's now inside our client, and it's installing with Yarn all the dependencies. Now it's using vite to create the destination dist directory. Now I guess it's creating our API functions, and meanwhile we can go back and to our project, and let's define a domain. So I'll go to domain, and I will want to change this domain to booking app. Can we use this one? No, it's taken. So let's do just David booking app. Yeah, let's test if this works. No, it doesn't. Let's see. I will open network, and let's see, we get a course error. Why? Because we are trying to request on wrong URL. As you can see on side the source app.jsx, we have this base URL of this, and we need to change it to this one, right? So how we can do this? Let's add an environment file here inside the client.env, and let's create an variable called API base URL to be this. So we'll put it here, and I will put it inside those. All right. But now, because this is a React app, so front-end app, we need to add a vid on the beginning, right? And now we should be able to use it here, but not from process env, but instead from imports. So it should be import, and then meta, and then environment, and white. I think it was API base URL. I will just copy this, yeah, and I will put it here, right? And let's see if our app still works. Yes, it does. But now we can add the same thing for our project. So let's go to settings and environment variables. Let's add this one, and our API endpoint will be almost the same, but with an extra API on the end here. Yeah, for all environments. Let's save it, and now we need to redeploy it. So I'll click here, redeploy. All right, so now it looks like it's deployed. Let's try to refresh it here on our Vercel app to see if it works. And as you can see, we get a course error, and well, let's see. Looks like we are still calling this old endpoint. And that is because I forgot to commit this change. So let's commit this change. Yeah, so let's do git add client source, and with a message, I would just do Vercel 2, and let's push to origin master. So it will be redeployed automatically. So this is good. When you push to Vercel, it will, as you can see here, Vercel 2 redeploy automatically. Right, now it looks like it's deployed. So let's check it here. And as you can see, it says it's pending, but then it got 404. So let's open it here, maybe in another tab. Let's put it here, and let's see. Cannot get API places. This is an error from our API index.js saying we cannot find this route. And that's correct, because as you can see, all the routes are with just slash, no API slash. So how we can fix it? We can add slash API on all endpoints, and this will be a simple fix. So I will now add API login, API profile, API logout, API here, API places ID, API places, like this, and the last one. But now, I think if I refresh here, then it's wrong, because on our local app, then it tries to go to localhost 4000/places, and this is wrong. We need to tell to our client that byte URL, byte API base URL is actually with /API. So now it works, but now we need to add this change, all the changes we get here. So inside our API, so let's see, git status, we need to add this file. So let's do git add this file. Let's commit with message. Let's say /API, Vercel /API. And I will now push it to my GitHub origin master, so it will auto deploy here. And as you can see, it's deploying. And meanwhile it's deploying, I can show you that everything we are pushing is actually here in my ERB clone. So I'm pushing to master, and every time I'm pushing, it's adding those changes here to my repo. Right, so now it looks like it's deployed. Let's refresh it here, our Vercel app. And as you can see, it looks like everything works. So I can probably log out to see if the login works. I will do john@gmail.com. John, let's log in. Login successful, and we are logged in. Yeah, so now it looks like everything just works. And we have our own URL, and we have images. We can also test uploads, just in case. I will take this one, upload the file, maybe this part. Let's see. Yeah, it works. I'll make it as a primary photo here. Let's go to Airbnb. Yeah, everything works. So that's all for today. Thanks a lot for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please click the like button and subscribe if you want to see more videos like this one. Have a nice day and see you in the next one.